There are no signs unionized Canada Post workers will end their rotating strikes anytime soon. We're entering the fourth week of the strikes. A mediator was assigned to help with negotiations, but that mediator's time at the table has now expired, and the two sides still remain far apart. All this right before the holiday season, when Canadians rely on postal service the most. Joining us this morning is the national president of the Canadian Union of Postal Workers, Mike Palecek. Mike, thanks so much for taking some time this morning.
Good morning.
Mike, for those who haven't been following the minutiae of these negotiations, what are some of the major issues between the postal workers and the post office?
Well, one of the issues is equality for rural and suburban mail carriers. Canada Post has a major pay equity problem that they refuse to address. And we also have some major health and safety issues on the table. There's an injury crisis at Canada Post. Postal workers are now the most injured group of workers in the federal sector, at 5 times the average and double the next group. This has got to be fixed.
Mike, we got a statement from Canada Post, and they say, quote, they've made significant offers to CUPW that include increased wages, job security, and improved benefits. I'm going to take a stab in the dark and guess that you have a problem with this statement.
Well, I don't think it's accurate. I mean, even on the wage increases, they're offering wage increases below inflation. So postal workers would actually be losing money. But for the most part, there are big issues that have to be dealt with here that revolve around health and safety. We've seen a 43% increase in injuries at Canada Post in the last 2 years. This has got to be solved.
Mike, are you concerned about being legislated back to work?
Well, we have a government that says they believe in collective bargaining, and I guess we'll see if that's true. Certainly, legislation is not going to solve this.
If no deal is reached, will the strike continue through the holiday season, or will you put that on hiatus and then continue again in January?
We're dealing with a crisis at Canada Post that is largely caused by overburdening and overwork. We have to get this system solved before the holiday season.
Mike, how did we get to this point? How did we get to the point where it seems like there's a big chasm between what the workers say they want and need and what the post office says they're willing to provide?
Well, postal workers have seen successive restructuring schemes over the last decade, driven by both management and by governments. And at the same time, we've seen our constitutional rights violated. We haven't been able to bargain freely in order to resolve issues as they come up. So things have stacked up over a number of years. Now, Canada Post has had years to deal with these issues. They know what the issues are on the table, but they simply refuse to move until it gets to a crisis point. And unfortunately, it seems the only way to get anything done is to take strike action, and it shouldn't have to be that way.
Mike Palecek, like I said, you've got a lot on your plate, so we appreciate your time this morning. Thank you very much.
Thank you.